Why? Why do we enter the Race of Remembrance every year, you may ask? Because it honestly is the most amazing weekend. It's moving, it's respectful. We entered in 2021 with one car and we came third. In 2022, we entered 2 Clios. Unfortunately, our 182 decided 45 minutes from the end that it didn't want to finish. So we had unfinished business this year. So after all the hours of preparation on both cars, we would like you to join us behind the scenes of Race of Remembrance 2023. This year, we were sharing the garage with the Americans and the Canadian teams. Both cars passed scrutiny in first time. A quick drive around the paddock to make sure everything seems okay, along with a stop at the fuel station to fill both cars up. We love how on a Friday the local schools of Anglesey make a visit to the circuit to see all the wonderful cars. And then it was time for our team manager, Simon Coombs, to go through all the final
also, whilst you're all here, the main one that you're all going to have to be really careful of, you see the hue tag there? Yeah. So you've got the hue tag box first, which goes red or green, right?
In between day and night qualifying, there was a few adjustments to make on both vehicles, ready for nighttime qualifying. times don't matter to the overall qualifying position, but it was vital that we got as many laps in as possible to familiarise ourselves with driving in the dark. One of the top priorities was to bypass the heater matrix on the 182. At 11 o'clock, we all stopped for 2-minute silence. Time wisely in the free practice warm-up to scrub in sets of new tyres and to get our 2 new drivers a bit more familiar with the cars. And then it was time for something a bit bizarre.
Literally 20 minutes before we start racing, we're going to be in the cold Irish Sea. Because that's what it's about.
After the team was the cast of Toy Story last year, this year we decided to all be Disney princesses. And that was the men's choice. And even though we appear we've probably had a few drinks, I can assure you, the only thing we'd had at this point was water, just high on life. I absolutely love how many teams get involved with this absolute madness. A run and then into the cold Irish Sea. And trust me, it's absolutely freezing. No sooner have we come out the sea, climbed up the steep hill, run back across the track, it is literally time to abandon your wet clothes and get on the grid.
Right, so 2 cars here this weekend. How are they running so far?
This one's been a little bit problematic. We had some problems in day quali, but we ironed that out for night quali. Night quali was much better, but obviously it doesn't count for anything. 23's doing well, it's a bit further up the grid, so but it's a long race, isn't it? So we'll see how we go from there.
Different colour scheme to last year. Talk us about the wraps that you've got on these cars.
Okay, so it was a harebrained idea about 4 weeks ago that I decided Spitfires. And kind of one of them ones I got halfway through and thought, why the hell am I doing this? I think it was about 60 odd hours per car, based on a Mark V Spitfire, so green and grey. Obviously the invasion stripes from D-Day, so the Mark V Spitfire was used during D-Day for identifying a friendly foe. Then we put a slightly different spin on the side there, because you usually have 2 letters for your squadron. And then a plain ID as well, so we put a spin on it with PT 23 and PT 223. And then we also looked at on the front bonnet as well, we also looked into, these are the squadron logos for the actual squadron 223, and the one on 23 slightly different as well. So yeah, a lot of thought gone into it. Couldn't turn up to an event like this with any part of the livery any slightly bit wrong, so pleased with the way they've come out as well. So yeah, so fingers crossed for a good race.
Well, it's great to have you guys here. Best of luck.
You ain't got a number on it. This way. Has that been scrutinised? Yeah.
You see Sarah Dennis of Puretrack Racing. They've got 2 cars out this weekend looking rather camouflaged and resplendent, but there's a little bit more to it than that. So just talk us through what's the story behind these liveries.
We kind of wanted to pay some respect to the RAF and the amazing work they've done. So this year we've gone to represent the RAF. Matt came up with a harebrained idea. We were going to get them wrapped, but then we decided to do it ourselves. Can't begin to tell how many hours it's taken to do both cars, but we've tried to really represent the squadrons. So there was a Squadron 23, so we've got their tags on the back of the car and the front of the car as well. And then we've got a Squadron 223 as well, which we're representing. So, yeah, we hope we're not too camouflaged. Didn't really think that one through.
Having it camouflaged with then all the luminescent lights kind of takes the edge off it, doesn't it?
It does a little bit, yeah. So you won't see us, you just see LED lights.
Going into the race this year, obviously last year you ran 2 cars. It was a big test for the team. You learnt a lot from it. What's the game plan this year?
Same as we did last year. So you just want the cars to finish. We're going to be consistent, try not to pick any penalties up and pit stops, and just enjoy it. You know, it's not all about the results, it's about this whole event. And we just want to completely finish the day and bring both cars home in one piece.
So that's the all 4KA. That's right in front of the other Puretrack Clio. That's a 23 car giving it a crowd. Got through. Looks like.
The first hour of racing was pretty eventful for us as a team. 223 was in the garage after a wheel bolt sheared, and whilst it was in the garage, 23 sustained a hit in the side from another vehicle and also had to pit.
Tangled up with the 4K up at the corkscrew. Everything okay with that car? Or do you think there's possibly some lasting damage from that?
Yeah, we've got a little bit of damage on the side, but it's in the middle of the car, so fortunately it's not affecting us at the moment.
Apart from that, before that, up to that point, everything was running to plan?
Yeah.
It's no surprise with the track temperature dropping that the cars had a lot of off moments, and that's most of the cars on the grid. 223 had to come in to change tyres and to remove the grass from the radiator. With not long to go, 223 had to make another unexpected pit stop when the brake caliper had locked on, causing a beautiful red glowing brake disc, but meant we had to change the brakes very rapidly. Joining the racetrack from the pits at your first into night racing is very daunting. The lights are very, very blinding. If you're a racer and you've never experienced night racing, it definitely is a bucket list wish. I can only enlighten it to driving down a country lane with a car behind you with main beam flashing you continuously. But then there isn't just one car, there's a field of 45 of them. There's nothing better than getting both cars completed for the first half of the race. However, it quickly dawns on you that it's 10 o'clock at night and there's a lot of work preparation to carry out. There really is something quite magical about seeing all the garages still with their shutters open, with technicians working flat out on cars, changing gearboxes, changing engines. We worked till 1 a.m. We got off relatively light this year. In previous years, we'd actually worked all the way through. Jamie, how are you feeling about the weather today?
I want to go home.
It's a bit wet, isn't
I
it?
might put my wellies on and go out. It's going okay. It's ROR. We expect little things to happen, but the cars are still running, and I'm sure they'll both come across the line at 3 o'clock later on today.
Woo, thank you.
About 2 minutes, and you're going to have to go anyway.
There's only an hour and a half of racing to be completed before the cars stop on the track for the most important part of the weekend, the Remembrance service. And then we're back racing, and the conditions were absolutely horrendous. A lot of standing water, and if you went off on the grass, you're more than likely going to have to get through that. And that included our very own car, 223, that nearly ended up in the Isle of Man.
Marshall's are tough guys, but they ain't going to be able to push that out.
223 was towed back and hosed down whilst causing a safety car. We decided to use this to our advantage and pit 23. 25 minutes from the end, it was down to Sarah to make a decision whether she would run the last session. With the 197 running in P4, P5 was fastly catching up. However, an unexpected pit stop by P5 place meant it was a quick change for Sarah and into the car for the final part of the race. A quick check of the lap times of the car behind before jumping into the hot seat. Taken over from Jamie Millar, it was the last driver change of the weekend.
Hey, high
And at 3 p.m, both cars crossed the line together. The 197 taking P4 just, and the 182 coming in 8th place. Outstanding.
ones that we absolutely adore. It wasn't a single car because they were a pair of them. They looked a little bit like Spitfires, and they had a lot of
To win Best Prepared Cars was an absolute honour, and to be presented with a medal from the RAF made all that hard work definitely worthwhile. And then there's no better way to finish a Race of Remembrance, and that is a garage party. We do it every year, and it's the highlight of the weekend.
Jules